Welcome to the Purpose Driven Mom Show, episode 469. Today, I want to talk to you about some mindset shifts that are perfect for you if you are a mom who feels like you're always playing catch up. Hand up, right? Show notes are going to be at purposedrivenmom.com/podcast 469. If you feel like you are constantly behind, spinning your wheels, but you never get ahead, this episode is for you, mom. I got you. I understand what this feels like. I have had such a full season. And I knew we were getting into it. My daughter did competitive cheer, full competitive for the first time this year, but I didn't realize the amount of mental load it was going to take, what the travel was going to be like for us coming back. I've done some episodes on like transitioning back. I get it. And I'm recording this in May. I know it's July when this is coming out, but one of my strategies I teach is batching. And so I'm batch recording all my summer podcast episodes before my kids are done with school so that I don't have to worry about recording while they're home. So it's Maycember. Whew, I am just feeling like it's one thing after another, right? The laundry's piled up, the messages are unread, my emails all over the place. I'm taking my Girl Scout troop camping in a week. Then we come back, we have bridging, it's teacher gift time, it's field trip time and field day time and everything. It's never ending. Okay. So today we're going to talk about that. But what we're actually going to dig into is not so much we get that it's hard. We can acknowledge that, right? But it's the mindset shifts that are going to help you stop feeling behind and start feeling aligned. Giving yourself some acceptance in the fact that yes, things are hard, but how do I push past? How do I stop saying and being a victim of my time? I'm going to be real, right? Like we often do that, myself included. Well, I just don't have enough time. Well, I have a lot going on. True. But these shifts can help. When you're always catching up, it's like this heavy weight on you. And my husband and I were just talking about this because he's also in a very busy season for himself for work. He works at a program that's heavy in the summer at the university, and it starts in a couple weeks. So right now he's training all of the staff and things like that. So this is his Super Bowl, if you will, for work, whereas like Summit is mine. So now he's in that season. He also is very active in his fraternity, and he is, I don't remember his title as I'm saying it, he's in charge of planning a banquet. So he's planning a banquet that's coming up. My oldest is graduating in 2 weeks. He's got prom tonight, right? So there's all these things happening at once, and it's just a lot, right? It feels like you're constantly saying, why can't I stay on top of things, right? We deal with the guilt, with the stress, with the frustration. We just constantly feel that emotional, like that heaviness is just always on our shoulder, right? And it feels like you're failing at motherhood, you're failing at all your goals, you're failing other people, you're just constantly playing catch up. And when stuff starts to get crossed off your list, when you start to actually get things done, it feels like the weight, like a boulder, is slowly lifted off of you. And I felt this way a little bit early in May. If you've been listening for a while, you know I took my daughter down to Florida for cheer this year in May, first week in May. And I felt like there was so much build up to that. There was so much that had to be done. There was so much getting there. So now that that's over, I'm like, okay, now I can breathe. I'm officially done planning my Girl Scout meetings. We don't have any actual meetings. We just have bridging now. I can cross that off my list, right? It feels lighter, but it doesn't feel light for long because for so many of us, we'll play catch up and then we're back to the beginning. And then we play catch up and then we're back to the beginning. We have these unrealistic expectations that I think are setting us up for failure because this is the thing that clicked in my head. I think it was last year, about a year and a half ago, that was just such a light bulb for me because I was getting frustrated. I was frustrated with the fact that like I was not catching up on the laundry and the dishes and all those things. And when I realized that those household tasks that I do are just routines and cyclical, like they just don't end, it allowed me to take the pressure off waiting for them to end because they're not. I'm gonna fold the laundry today. And then tomorrow, I'm probably going to have to do more laundry, right? It's not an ending. But we set these unrealistic expectations that one, things will end that don't actually end. Two, we're supposed to be able to handle it all. And three, that if we're not doing it at this super high level that maybe we see other people doing it at on the internet or in real life, that we're failing. We compare ourselves to other people. And I say it like it's a highlight reel. I also post on my social media, but I'm not posting you a video of me yelling at my kids because I got overstimulated. Like, you don't want to see that, right? But it happens to me. I'm not posting you the nights where I'm, not doing something. We compare ourselves to what other people are, what we think they're doing. And I just want to remind you that those are snippets. Those are snippets and moments of people's lives. So when we feel like, why does this mom handle things better than me? Why does she seem to be on top of things? Why can't I do it? Just know that she's probably struggling too. Some of us just hide it a little bit better. The other thing that I think triggers us into this feeling of I'm never going to catch up is not having systems. You know me, I am Cara, the systems queen. Like I have a system for everything in my life. And I think it's so important to have those systems because they help me feel less frazzled. Am I still playing the catch up game? Yes. And this is the thing I was telling someone the other day. It's not so much that I'm perfect now. It's not so much that I never struggle with my goals or my time management. It's that my rebound is faster. My bounce back is faster. I am actually able to hone it in because I have a system to lean on. It doesn't happen as much for me. So if you don't have systems, then yeah, of course you're feeling like the laundry's never going to get done and you're never going to meal prep and you're never going to have time with your goals. You didn't set yourself up for that type of success. And then as we know, it's July. Sometimes life shifts and plans don't fully adjust, and therefore we have to move around it. So, can we just normalize this? Like, you're not lazy. You are living a real life where real people depend on you. You're doing the best you can. If you can fully accept that, then I think then these mindset shifts are really going to help you take a deep breath and not feel like you're always playing catch up. Shift number one, let's reframe the I'm behind phrase, okay? I'm not behind, I'm in a different season. Life is seasonal. You know this, I teach this, I preach this. And some are more slow, some are more intense, some are busier. This week, when I'm recording this, it's like I mentioned, it's May. It's been raining and I'm tired of the rain. It's cold, it's dreary. I don't want it to rain anymore. But you know what I love about rain? Sports get canceled. And I love watching my kids out there. Do not get me wrong. I am their number one fan. But I love when a sport gets canceled. Now, we're going on about week 2 of sports getting canceled more frequently, right? And because of that, sorry, Sharon, I'm going to start that over. And then I am actually going to have to run in the other room real quick. Okay. We're going on week 2 of sports getting canceled. And because of that, I think we're getting a little squirrely. But what I have found is that it is nice. Last night, we spent an hour, me and my 2 kids, doing puzzles. It's wonderful. We just sat around and did puzzles. We played games. We slowed down. I actually got work done at night that I hadn't finished during the day. Normally, I feel this a lot at work, like I'm always playing catch up at work because there's just a finite number of days. I didn't finish my work during the day, and my kids were playing, and my husband was at a meeting, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get some work done because we have nowhere else to go. Um, I was able to catch up. And what it reminded me was that in the school year, in this busy season, yeah, of course things are super busy because we have things all the time. We're planned out all day long. So because we're planned out so much, of course, I don't have enough time to get things done. So instead of saying or thinking, I'm just behind, ask yourself, what is the season I'm in right now? In May, when I'm recording this episode, I am in Maycember season. In July, when this season comes out, mid-July, my kids, let me say, my kids, we're literally, when this comes out, have just come back from a vacation. My kids had a couple weeks of camps. I'm probably relaxed. I'm in a lighter mood, right? And then ask yourself, based on that season, what matters right now? Okay. My sister's having a baby in a couple weeks. She's about to go into the baby season, the 200, or no, I guess not 202, 203, whatever. She's going to go from 1 to 2, right? Which feels like 1 to 5. That is not the let me go learn how to make homemade sourdough season, right? The start of the busy school year is maybe not the best time to put a ton of things on your plate. I know during summit for work, that is not the time where I put a lot of goals on my plate. So I want you to stop saying, I'm just behind. Say, oh, this season right now. And then align your expectation with your actual reality. If summer is actually busier for you because your kids are home the whole time and you're trying to get things together, then maybe, right? Just maybe you want to adjust that way. For me, I'm the opposite, where summer I get to like really relax. I'm very excited about it. I still work, we're still doing things, but we just have more nights off, which is going to feel like hours because we've been living on sports 4 to 5 nights a week, right? My son this year decided he doesn't want to play football, which, you know, I was a little bummed about because it's super cute and I love, he played tackle last year and he did enjoy it, but he just is like, I don't want to play this year. And I asked him a couple times to make sure, like, you know, you weren't just doing it because he said he just wanted to play video games or whatever. I was like, well, you sure? Whatever. And he's like, nope, I don't. So we decided on trying to find him basketball. He said he wants to play basketball. I'm like, there's really not basketball in the fall. He's like, or baseball. I'm like, great. Well, football starts in August, the first week of August. Football is 4 nights a week for 2 hours, starting in August. I had mentally prepared myself for my summer being cut short because football was starting. Well, now I get summer back. It's exciting, right? Getting those hours back is allowing me to change what I am thinking I'm going to be able to get done. We're going to be able to maybe take a couple more trips. We're going to be able to do some projects around the house. We're going to be able to relax more. It's very exciting. So, what does your summer look like? And ask yourself, do I have my expectations aligned with my reality? Maybe the summer is not the time for you to start a podcast because kids are running around your house all day and it's very loud. Okay. Again, I'm not behind. I'm in a different season. All right, I'm gonna hit pause it real quick, Sharon, because I just have to. My bread just went off and I have to go fix it. Okay, I'm back. It's so funny, the sourdough thing. I'm like, hold on, I need 3 minutes. All right. All right, our second mindset shift today is progress over perfection. Perfectionism often disguises itself in procrastination. We will be putting things off forever until they can be perfect. Now, here's a question I have for you. I just mentioned the example of, oh, it's not the best time to start a podcast because everybody's home. Challenge yourself on that as well. Am I saying that? Am I procrastinating starting it because I need a perfect environment, right? Now, here's the thing. I am preferring to record when my kids aren't home. It's half the reason that me and my podcast editor, Sharon, hey Sharon, we decided to have me batch all of the summer before my kids are done with school. That way, we don't have to worry about the interruptions and I can stay focused. But challenge yourself on that. I want you to reframe it as done is better than perfect. So this summer, no matter what goal you're working on, no matter what task, what hobby, what habit, remind yourself that a step forward is better than no steps at all. I teach the method of 1% more. So asking yourself that question, what can I do to just move the needle 1%, right? 1% more, what can I do? And what would that look like? Now, here's the thing that I think is super duper important. Sorry, hold on. I just realized I don't think recording. Okay, so the Audacity, I just realized, Sharon, I forgot to hit record back when I started again. Wait, why isn't it recording? Okay, so I forgot to hit record on the Audacity, so you'll have to use the Zoom audio for the start of that, okay? I just was like, wait, why isn't this moving at all? Perfectionism is going to be the killer of goals. When you can only do something because you have an hour to do it, instead of I have these 5, 10, 15 minutes, I can get something done, you won't do anything. You're just waiting for the perfect time. So as you're in this, I'm always catching up mode, I'm always catching up mode, ask yourself, can I start something? Maybe I can't put all my dishes in the dishwasher, but can I put five of them, right? Maybe I can't finish folding all of the laundry, but can I get started? When you start to shift to that mindset, and that's, I wrote the 15-minute formula back in 2021. It came out January 2022. But ever since really writing it and zooming in on that, I really feel this freedom of perfectionism around certain things. I really believe that I can do things in small chunks and that small chunk will make a difference. I would love to have 2 hours in the morning to read my book, but if I can get 15 minutes, I will be pleased as punch, right? So, second mindset shift is progress over perfection. Celebrate micro wins, pat yourself on the back for the good that you're doing. Now, I just actually paused this recording because my sourdough is ready for stretch and fold number one. If anyone else makes sourdough, I'm new to the game. So I wanted to stop. And there's so many things I wanted to make. And I feel like I held myself back for a long time because I was like, well, I don't have the time. I'm not able to do it this way. I'm not like those people on the internet who can cook all these things. And I let this mindset shift of progress over perfection let me show up in the kitchen this year. This is one of my goals I'm most proud of this year, which obviously I can't stop talking about. So if you've been around for a while, you know I'm like not so humble bragging on myself right now, but I do make things from scratch. I make cookies and bread and ice cream. I make all these things because I allowed myself this year to give it a try. I allowed myself to say, Maybe I don't have the hours in the kitchen. Maybe I can't make the perfect recipe. Maybe it's not going to be great, but I would rather give it a try and move forward at all and learn than not do it at all. All right, mindset shift three. My worth is not tied to my productivity. All right, speaking of myself a little bit here, but I just want to remind you, you're worthy even if your to-do list isn't finished. You're not a machine, right? You're a human, a mom, a person, and you matter. Productivity, it is a tool. It is not your identity. And I think this is a harder one for me, for my type A, Enneagram 3, driven people. I've learned, and I had to unpack this in therapy a lot, but one of, my limiting belief systems that had been ingrained in me since I was little, right, was that I was only worthy if I was performing. So when I'm not performing, when I'm not doing, I don't feel like I matter. So I've really had to work on this. If anyone else has that, it's like a trauma response. You're like sitting on the couch. Like, say you have a day at home, right? You do things, not like you're sitting around doing nothing all day, right? But my husband comes home, I will jump up from that couch so he doesn't think I've been sitting there all day. Why? And we talked about this, my husband and I, because he laughed. He's like, "What are you doing?" Or like if he starts cleaning something, I jump up and I'm like, "I can help." And he's like, "Why?" He was like, I don't think that, right? Like he doesn't think that. It's me, right? And it's obviously something from growing up, right? Like having to prove myself. He's like, "I don't care if you're sitting on the couch." He's like, "I sit on the couch lots. Like it doesn't matter to me." But we allow our worth to be tied to our productivity and tell us that that is the only thing that matters. That if we're not checking every single thing off our to-do list, we've failed for the day. So I teach a concept of the to-do list in my program. And in the to-do list, one of the things that's really great is stopping and saying to yourself, what have you accomplished today? Every single time you finish something, I want you to say, I'm really proud of you for, right? I have a couple things I want to bake today. I'm not going to get to all of them. I already know this. The day it's like, I can't believe I was like looking at the time. Wait, it's almost 11 o'clock already. I have a call in an hour. Like, it's a busy day. I have so much going on. I'm not going to be able to get it all done, but it's okay. I started my bread. So, Cara, I'm proud of you for that. When you start applauding yourself for showing up, what you can do is shift your brain from thinking that the only way to matter is to cross it completely off. So I ran a 5K last week with my daughter. Shocked. She amazes me. She got third in her age group. She's 9 for like females. And smoked me. We didn't even stay together. She didn't stop running the whole time. She said the only time she stopped was she got her water and she wanted to spill it on herself. I did not have the same story, right? Now, listen, I was only 8 minutes behind her, so I'm impressed with myself, but I stopped multiple times. And I wanted to go to where I used to be, where my old brain would have been like, you're such a loser. You're a failure. You can't even run this 5K. You used now, and again, I used to run a lot. I would have considered myself a runner pre-kids. There's this run in Philadelphia where I live called the Broad Street Run. It's 10 miles. I've run it 4 times, two pre-kids, two post-kids. Like, and I wanted to say, like, I can't believe you can't do this. But instead, I said to myself, I'm really proud of you for continuing to go. Did I take more breaks than I had planned? Yes. Was it harder than I hoped? Yes. But guess what? Finishing is finishing, right? There's a thing in the running community that like a 7 minute mile is the same distance as a 20-minute mile. So whether you walk it or you run it, you're doing the same thing. I want you to remind yourself of that too. And I also want you to lean into resting without guilt so that you're not feeling like you have to be a robot, that you don't feel like I must be productive, right? So yesterday, like I mentioned, we had sports canceled. We had dinner. I cleaned up a little bit. I came in the office for about 2 hours, got some work done. My kids are watching TV. We chilled. I wanted to read my book for a little bit after that. So I did. And then my kids were like, "You want to do a game?" And I was like, "Let's do a puzzle." So we did puzzles for like an hour. That was great to me. That was so fun. Did I finish everything off my work to-do list or my personal to-do list? No. But it doesn't actually matter in the big grand scheme of things. So just again, my worth isn't tied to my productivity. And take these affirmations and say them over and over again, right? Progress over perfection. My worth isn't tied to my productivity. How about this one? Plans are flexible tools and not chains. A plan is there to serve you, not to stress you out. Let it go. Let go of that perfect plan mindset. Shift, pivot, start over, rip it up and start again. I can't tell you how many times I've tried different routines. They don't work. I keep trying to put a square peg in a round hole, make a routine make the routine work until I finally realize that what was actually holding me back was that I was trying to make a routine work that actually doesn't fit my life. Use the time blocking strategies I teach. Use the batching methods that I teach. Create yourself some margin so that you can see what works and what doesn't. Do some time inventories. I have a goal audit process that I teach in the book. I teach it in my program. And if your goal's not working, right, you sit and you ask yourself, like, why isn't it working, right? And one of the questions is always, is it the wrong time of day? Often we want things to look a certain way. This goes back to our perfectionism, or we prefer them a certain way. I prefer to work out first thing in the morning. If I don't work out before I like to do my morning routine, shower for the day, and then I'm showered for the day, and then it is what it is, right? Like I don't want to have to wait to shower, not be ready because I'm like, oh, it's just gonna take so much of my time later. It's my preference, okay? But it doesn't mean that if I don't work out first thing in the day, I'm not gonna work out at all. The other day, I didn't get my workout in. I slept in. I was tired. Um, and then I was very proud of myself because I had to use all these mindset shifts to pause myself. And I was like, you know what? It was later in the day. My husband's having a lot of meetings lately, like I've mentioned. He's also on a board of one of the charter schools. Like there's just a lot happening for him right now. So he's not home as much. So it's, I don't know, is it like less pressure to have to hang? Not like I don't want to hang out with him, but y'all know what I mean, right? So I'm like sitting around like, and again, I still struggle with that worth being tied to productivity. So maybe I do feel like I can't relax as much. The point is, we had nothing to do because it got rained out. I missed my workout. I said, I'm gonna go walk on the treadmill. I'm gonna go get it done now. It's not my perfect time, but it's okay. Doing an audit of things to see, like, hey, if this isn't working, why not, is helpful. We use the word rhythms for a reason. You don't need to be, glued in. I was so glued in when I left teaching because my life as a teacher, I taught special education for 9 years. In that time, I was a resource room teacher. I did push-in support. I did pull-out support. I was our ninth grade lead. I ran my own self-contained classes, autistic support, ran the schools. I did so many things. IEP meetings up the wazoo. I had to be somewhere all the time. There were class periods where I was pushing into English for 15 minutes, then I would go to math for the rest of the period. Okay? And so what I think is really important is knowing that that schedule I had as a teacher did not serve me when I moved into my motherhood role, my work at home mom role, because I didn't need to be somewhere every 5 minutes, but I kept trying to do it. I kept saying, okay, well, at 9:05 we do this, and at 9:15 we do this, and at 9:25. That doesn't work. So give yourself rhythms, the time blocking method. Hey, these are the three things I want to get done during this time block, and keep it moving. All right, our last mindset shift that I want you to take into the summer, if you're feeling like you're always playing catch up, is I'm allowed to ask for help and I am allowed to set boundaries. How do I say this nicely? Catch up mode, it's often a sign of you doing too much alone. When you're feeling like you're playing catch up all the time, you might also have a problem delegating, asking for help, letting, other people help you. Like that, those might be real things for you. So it's okay to delegate. It's okay to say no. It's okay to ask for help. You are not a machine. Let's go back to that one. If you're feeling like you're behind on laundry, you have other people, maybe, most likely, that live in your home. Ask them for help. They can, and this is like, I had to really back myself up on this one the past couple months because I was feeling like I was trying to do all of it. And they were, I can help. What do you want me to do? I got it. Because I had that superhero complex and I had to talk myself through it of like, my kids can put their own laundry away. Like, I don't have to be the one doing everything. Creating those types of boundaries will create capacity for you, okay? Not barriers. It's not saying I'm never going to help anyone or nobody thinks I'm helpful, right? It's saying I need space and I need help. So asking for help is one piece and then making boundaries, right? Summer work boundaries, right? No emails after 8, right? For me, I typically put a work boundary that I don't work after I pick my kids up from school. Now I mentioned yesterday I spent 2 hours in the office at like from 6 to 8, but that was not the norm. I felt like doing it and it worked for me. But I typically make a hard rule of like, yeah, after 3 I don't work. Okay. Say this hour Saturday mornings, that's mom time only, right? It's okay to make those so that you can feel recharged. Repeat after me, Mom. I'm allowed to ask for help and I'm allowed to set boundaries. Now, I really encourage that you take these new mindset shifts, you make them into affirmations, truth reminders, things that you say in the mirror, right? Remind yourself, right? Say, I am doing enough, right? I'm doing my best. You can say, hey, my pace is allowed to be different from someone else's. I'm living my own life. This isn't the season for me. And that I can reset at any time. Don't feel like it has to be, I have to play catch up all the time. I'm just resetting some things. I just want to remind you because I know, especially at this time in the summer, we feel a little behind, right? The mess is there. I know, like for us, when summer hits, it's like there's water shoes everywhere and camp stuff, and like there's just stuff everywhere. Take a breath, right? And just you're doing your best, okay? You're not broken, you're not failing, you're overwhelmed. There is a better way, and it starts in your brain. It starts in your mind because awareness and intentionality of what's happening for you, that is really what's going to help change your mindset, right? And just know like you don't have to be caught up on your to-do list to give yourself a minute to rest, to give yourself a minute to be you, okay? So think about the shifts we talked about today and ask yourself which of these do I need the most right now? Journal it out, right? Make it your affirmation, say it over and over again. Because I think once you can start to work on your mindset, the rest will fall together. I'm going to put show notes over at purposedrivenmom.com/podcast 469. I hope you enjoy your week. I hope you feel a little bit of peace, a little bit of lightness, and I'll talk to you soon.